Hey everybody, welcome back into I35 Live. As always, I am your host Matt. With me is my friend Ryan. We are coming at you live, not live, we're recording this, in order to talk about some fun sports stuff all around the Metroplex and all around the country. Going to attempt, Ryan, to try and get this all in one episode, see if we can't maybe stay on track this time. But if not, it'd be what it be. We can go out on tangents. But real quick, before we dive into the episode, if you guys don't mind, we appreciate you listening. If you would, please give us a like, hit that subscribe button, comment down below what you like, what you don't like, what you want to see more of, what you want to hear us talk about. It really helps us. It helps us grow the channel. So appreciate you guys for listening. Welcome in. Ryan, how are you, my friend?
I'm great. I'm great. It's been a pretty eventful week in football. It's frankly been a pretty eventful last few weeks since we last recorded. So yeah, I'm excited to dive right into it.
Yeah, absolutely. There is a ton of stuff to talk about here. I think, as always, stay true to who we are. I think we're going to go ahead and start with football. Um, let's start with college. We've got 2 weeks. I believe it's 2 weeks worth of the College Football Playoff Committee rankings that have come out. Not to mention CBS Sports and a number of other platforms have dropped their bracket predictions to see where teams might end up. Ryan and I have come up with our own. I'll give you the seating. We'll go 12-1 here, and then Ryan and I will talk about our brackets, see what we can come up with here. So starting at number 12, Ryan, we got JMU taking the G5 spot. We were talking earlier before we started, and you said you're feeling pretty confident about them taking that G5 spot.
Yeah, just because of the conference that they're in, there's not a lot of extra competition outside of them. But I think right now have like a near 40% chance to get that spot ahead of UNT. So I think they have a pretty good chance to get it, and I fully expect the committee to feel the same way.
Yeah, yeah, totally agree with you there. 11, we got Miami. Spot 10, we've got Oklahoma over Texas. I know Texas is in there right now. As we're recording this, they're currently losing to Georgia. I think just like at the beginning of the season where I thought we were too high, I think 10 is too high for us now. So I would definitely put Oklahoma there. Especially, mind you all listening, that is us recording this after they just beat Alabama in Tuscaloosa. So Oklahoma at the 10 spot. Number 9, we've got Notre Dame. Number 8, Oregon. 7, Ole Miss. 6, Texas Tech. 5, Georgia. 4, Bama. Obviously, that is going to change, Ryan.
Yeah, I think we could probably flip Georgia and Bama. I still think Bama will get in, just the nature of how the committee has shown us that they're going to vote, and also just the fact that the SEC didn't hasn't really cannibalized themselves like we thought they would. And I think there's a legitimate chance we're going to get 6 SEC teams in there. So I don't discount Bama for the sake of this argument. I'll still put them at 4, but I fully expect that to change eventually.
It will, more than likely. It'll change Tuesday evening when the next playoff committee rankings come out there. But Bama in the 4 spot, got Texas A&M at 3, Indiana at 2, and Ohio State number 1. We'll go top down here, just starting at the top of the bracket. Myself, I've got Georgia at the 5 going over JMU. I have Oregon at the 8 going over Notre Dame at the 9. Got Texas Tech at the 6 going over Miami at 11. I feel like even though they're ranked 6th, it doesn't matter where they end up ranked. If Texas Tech gets in the playoffs, I feel like they're going to be looked at as the underdog, as a dark horse. No matter what happens there. And then I've got Oklahoma going over Ole Miss. I think they've already played once this season. I think Ole Miss got the better of them then. I think Oklahoma ends the season a better team. I think Oklahoma can get over them.
Yeah, so yeah, I definitely have Georgia over JMU. Just again, JMU having to go to play the biggest game ever in their history, essentially. And at Sanford Stadium, no shot,
And we
no
all know,
disrespect.
what happened the last 3 times a purple team went into the playoffs.
Yeah, no shot against them. No disrespect, no shot. The best to me, the best of the first round games is Notre Dame, Oregon at Autzen Stadium.
Absolutely.
I think Oregon is a more complete team. They have, while they did get dominated on the line, got pushed around by Indiana, I don't think Notre Dame's going to be able to do that to them. So I will pick Oregon over them.
There's also no guarantee that Notre Dame ends the season with only 2 losses.
Yeah, they got to play a team that I would actually, you could talk me into flipping them out, which we'll talk about in a second if we have any omissions to this list. Miami and Texas Tech, I think Texas Tech is an absolute wagon. They have, to me, who would be I think is the fan favorite Heisman participant, if you will, Heisman nominee, and Jacob Rodriguez. How can you hate that guy? Just an absolute stud, probably the best linebacker in the country. Miami, I overrated.
Inconsistent.
Inconsistent. They're
inconsistent, to say the very least.
By far, if they win that conference, it's the worst conference in the leagues in college football. So, to me, they have no shot. Don't care about them at all. The Ole Miss OU game is very intriguing because, yes, it is a rematch, and yes, in the way that they have it here, it would be played at Vaught Hemingway in Oxford. It's as simple as, who do I trust to make the adjustments from the previous game? It was a lot closer than we remember, basically throughout the game. OU did have the lead at one point. Their offense basically cost them the game. The question is, does OU make the changes? Does John Mateer not make the mistakes that he was making? And of course, does Lane Kiffin figure out that OU defense? Because while he did for certain points, it was still pretty dicey there. To me, I trust Lane Kiffin at this stage more than I do Brent Venables. So I would choose Ole Miss.
I would give edge in coaching to Ole Miss, but I would give edge in players to Oklahoma. And
yes,
to
they
me,
have the best defense in the SEC, and they're just absolutely dominant.
And to me, like, the coaches don't play the games. The kids do.
Yes, but they can scheme things different. And also, we saw the way the game played out. There were moments where Venables got outcoached, got flat out outcoached, and the players that showed up in that were supposed to show up in that game didn't.
And I'll give you okay. I still think Oklahoma wins, but I'll give you this: if the Oklahoma defense does not touch Trinidad Chambliss, you're right.
Yes,
and Ole Miss wins.
Yes, and the OU defense did one thing that they normally don't do, and that's give up the run. And that's definitely something that Ole Miss did against them last time. So to me, again, I that's the difference to me. And so I will choose tentatively Ole Miss.
Fair. So going on to round 2, where I would have it, you've got Bama, Georgia. I think you have to go Georgia. I think, did Alabama beat them earlier? Yeah, absolutely they did. But it's in the regular season. I think, seeing what we've seen, I think it takes it. Oregon, by my bracket, would then run into the buzzsaw that is Ohio State. And I don't even want to predict that score, but let me just tell you, Ohio State by at least. Ohio State can put in their second string to start the second half. Ohio State's such a good team. Texas A&M, Texas Tech. Give me Texas Tech. Give me Texas Tech in that.
Again, we're I35 live, so we're going to have a keen eye on these Texas teams. especially if they're outside those lines. But that would be the biggest game in our state's history.
I think it would be massive. I think it would be massive. I think something that would come close would maybe be like the '69 championship between Texas and Arkansas. I think that was real big. Um, I think if I mean I'm not going to say I remember because I'm not this old, but historically at some point on or around Thanksgiving, Texas A&M used to play every year, and those were big games, but they didn't necessarily have playoff implications like they do today. So I would be willing to agree with you there. This is going to be a massive game in our state's history. Still give me Texas Tech.
Okay.
And then Oklahoma, Indiana. I'm taking Indiana, man. They're a sleeping giant. And I say sleeping giant because everyone else is asleep on them. Indiana's wide awake and running away in games. Not every game, but they are winning games handily.
Yeah, you mentioned, again, talking about OU, how dominant their defense is, which they are. Uh, how they've been able to push teams around, they wouldn't be able to push around Indiana.
No.
I even think Ohio State would have a hard time, which they're going to end up playing in
Big Ten
about 3
championship.
weeks. I even think Ohio State will have trouble pushing them around.
Do you think, I'm going to pause on this bracket for a second. Do you think there exists a realm of possibility that Indiana takes the Big Ten?
Yes, because if it gets to a point where it could get a little out of hand at any point, what's the incentive for Ohio State to try to fight back at that point? Yes, pride, and yes, you want to win, and yes, that part is irrelevant. However, they're still going to make the playoff.
They are.
There's nothing preventing them from making it at that point. So I think there is a way. As we get a little bit closer, I'll have a little bit more to say about that. But yeah, no, I think there is a way because this will be by far the hardest team Ohio State's has played since Notre Dame last year. So that to me is arguably the game of the century.
Absolutely. Do you have, because you had a couple of different picks in there, do you have any round 2 games there that on your bracket that you'd kind of change up a little bit? Or
yeah, I do think the Bama Georgia game is, again, we're getting to the point where every game is incredibly interesting. This, again, just tried and true rivals. They know each other very well just through history. I still think Kirby has an Alabama problem. I think Alabama, after losses, especially the first loss that we saw this year, takes it very personally, and they go and they absolutely take control. Now I'd love to see how they react after this massive loss, how they will respond going forward. This is going to be that test. Give me Alabama.
Well, don't forget, they still have to play the Iron Bowl too.
They're winning that.
Well, I'm not saying that they're not by a million. Okay.
By a million. And Georgia still has to play Georgia Tech,
which will be a more interesting game than what it was last year when it went to 37 overtimes.
Yes, it will. Oregon, Ohio State. Yeah, once again, the Oregon run ends against Ohio State. Texas Tech, Texas A&M. As much as this pains me to say, I think A&M actually walks all over Texas Tech. Because A&M's defense and their pass rush is unreal, while Texas Tech has a great defense on their own right. Again, I absolutely love Jacob Rodriguez. The offensive firepower for A&M is unbelievable. With Carver and Concepcion and Ruben Owens and Marcel Reed can run the ball, and they just have absolute dudes on that team. So I got A&M, and then Indiana beats Ole Miss.
Now, mind you, like 1/3 of these teams could not even be in the playoff by the time we get there.
100%. 100%. I'm just looking at it again. We could have 6 different SEC teams by the time we're done here.
Absolutely.
We could have Georgia Tech instead of Miami. We could have an issue where BYU maybe could sneak their way in if they, rematch Texas Tech and catch things different.
Like 2 or 3 Big 12 teams would be so freaking awesome.
Yeah, it absolutely could be that way. We could have North Texas in this instead of JMU.
Let me just tell you, if North Texas got in the playoff, I think I would root for them over every other school.
Yeah, I have no issue about them being in there at all. I would love to see a Cinderella story. That being said, if we had it the way we have it here, they're going to Georgia, and
I know what happens.
Yeah, the fun in Denton will end
abruptly
and
quickly. Abruptly and quickly are the same word. I just used the same word twice. Ryan, I think I want a thesaurus for Christmas.
I don't have the money for that.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, Georgia, Ohio State. Pretty clear cut, in my opinion. Pretty sure this is going to be Ohio State. You would then have Bama, Ohio State. How do you feel about that?
No different at all. I do think, again, give OU all the credit in the world. That defense, what they're able to do. This is a better defense. This is probably one of the best defenses we've ever seen in the college level, outside of maybe 2016 Bama, 2011 Bama. You can name the names on those teams.
2000
Miami. Just the amount of defensive players and names, but also Matt Patricia just absolutely stifling these guys, stifling these teams.
I got to give a shout out to another Red team just because you said 2000 Miami. Like 98, 99, Big Red.
Oh, Nebraska. You can choose any. Yeah, you can choose 97, 94, 95. You can choose any of those teams.
Can I just tell you, I know we've paused a million times through this bracket. I want Nebraska to be good again so badly.
Well, if they can keep Matt Rule around, they might have a shot.
I don't know. I don't know if I'm becoming an old head or what, but there's like historically good teams that I just would like to see be good again.
Yeah, everything is better when Nebraska's good, when Texas is good. I'm trying to think of just teams from the past.
USC, like a dominant USC team.
USC, which we might be seeing in the future.
We might be seeing in the future.
We might be seeing in the future because they know how to. They're recruiting actually pretty well, and they know how to get the right transfers in to fit what Lincoln Riley's trying to do now. So I'm pretty stoked to see that.
And then you got the other quarterfinal game would then be, for me, would be Texas Tech, Indiana. For you, it would be Texas A&M, Indiana. I am going to ride the hype train even further and say Texas Tech beats Indiana.
That's bold strategy, Cotton. Yeah, this game. Ooh, I'm making the bracket. I've gone back and forth on it. I am going to go with A&M.
Are you serious?
I think A&M, again, has the power, has the firepower, has the dudes to match up against Indiana. Let's not forget, Indiana was the catch of the year away from losing to Penn State.
True.
And they let Iowa just hang around on them, too. So, this is not... They have flaws. While they have showed up in the games that people thought they would have a chance to lose, they've also showed flaws against teams that they should have beat. This isn't the A&M that we've grown up with. And I'm kind of succumbed to that fact.
I may take a little longer.
That's fine. I hate that I'm at this point. but unbiased, take it all out. What Mike Elko has done in, I mean, take last year away because yeah, that's 8-4 Aggies. The fact that they're not 8-4, one, is a miracle. Two, the fact that they look the way that they do. I mean, we're recording on a day where they were down 30-3. Granted, it looked really bad, and there's blame on both sides where South Carolina faltered.
I was going to say
the Aggies that we know would have just absolutely just continued to melt down.
Well, right, but the Aggies that we know are the ones that played in the first half that gave them the 30 points.
Yes, but also they still would have lost.
Well, that's true, but okay, all right.
And the way that let's just say the way that they came back in basically a quarter and a half, and they already had the lead, incredible.
The second half shutout helped, but let's also be real. The play calling for the last drive of South Carolina was absolutely abysmal. They could have easily
It's the single worst play calling and execution from Lenora Sellers I've ever seen. The man essentially took 3 sacks.
They literally should have just marched down the field, kicked a field goal, won the game. And they couldn't figure that out.
They couldn't figure that out.
All right, I'm not taking my bias out of it, but let's say that you're right? Because whether or not Texas Tech goes, Texas A&M goes, hell. If Indiana goes, if Oklahoma goes, if Ole Miss goes, if Miami goes, from whatever side of that bracket you want, they're going to end up running into Ohio State. And if you want all of our Aggie fan listeners to get all the way to the national championship and lose, I'm fine with that.
That's exactly what's going to happen. No one loves the 19 LSU team more than I do. It was a treat to be able to see that. That 19 LSU team would have a very hard time beating this team. And frankly, I don't think they even could. This Ohio State team,
there it
is unreal.
I agree.
Julian Sayin is my pick to win the Heisman. And he's probably not even the better Heisman choice because, I mean, we're looking at right now the best wide receiver prospect in a generation, probably since Randy Moss. Megatron, yeah. And he plays like Julio Jones.
He is so quick.
He's quick. And just look at it from a team aspect. You still have Carnell Tate you have to mess with. You still have Brandon Ennis that you have to mess with.
And you want to look at the team aspect, flip to the other side of the ball. You got Caleb Downs just standing there, waiting.
And you have, I believe his last name's Reese, who's, you can make the argument, is the best linebacker in the country outside of Jacob Rodriguez. And again, Matt Patricia. I love Jim Knowles, but my God, did they upgrade from a national championship winning defense to a historic defense.
Let me just say, Bama used to have the slogan when Saban was still there, we don't rebuild, we reload.
They reloaded.
If this Ohio State team wins the national championship, this will be the greatest reload I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yes, undoubted. I mean, we can go through, while we're discussing this, I'm going to go through here and just give you the scores of every game real quick
for
Ohio State. Not the scores necessarily, but how much the other team scored. You tell me. Again, these are primarily Power 4 teams. We start with other teams: 7, 0, 9, 6, 3, 16, 0, 14, 10, and right now they're still playing 7.
I do not disagree with the point you're trying to make. Quick shout out for my Longhorn fans. We did hold them to 14 points. But yeah, we still lost. Anyway, you're completely right. They are the definition of the team. Like, if this was a sports movie, they're the bad guys. They're not like the scrappy underdogs. Like, they are the absolute force on the other side of the field, waiting to demolish, not even demolish the team, demolish the whole football program of the other school.
100%. 100%. I think I've said everything that needs to be said that I can say. There's nothing more.
We're beating a dead horse with it.
And that being said, the fact that I'm this confident means they're probably going to lose to Michigan. So
just because they lose to Michigan, they lost to Michigan last year.
True. That's true.
Just because they lose to Michigan does not mean they're not going to win the national championship.
Yeah. If y'all have listened this far, you know how dead wrong I am. And if I feel that confident about something, it's going to be the complete opposite. So congratulations, JMU, for winning the national championship then.
That would be insane.
I'd be happy with that. But...
Imagine the G5 team wins it.
Yeah.
That would be crazy. All right. Let's stay with football. NFL. I'm going to give you the current 8 division leaders. We'll go AFC, then NFC. Tell me how you feel about them. Give me your AFC championship. Give me your NFC championship. Okay? Doesn't necessarily have to be these 4 teams. There's just who's in first right now. Starting with the AFC. Your 4 first-place teams are New England, Pittsburgh, Indianapolis, and Denver.
Yeah. I mean, I'll take Pittsburgh out of it. They're just.
I mean, that whole division.
Yeah, they're going to end up being the 4 seed. I think all the rest of them should hold up fairly well. I still think Denver will actually win that division, just because they could lose to the Chiefs this week and still win it because their schedule's so easy. Outside of it, the Patriots. These aren't the Patriots that we grew up with. This is a young breed, a fun breed of Patriots, and led by, to me, the MVP Drake May. I do think that this is going to be. I'll just give my picks real quick. I will put the Bills and the Patriots part 3 at that point. I think they'll play again at that point. I have on the NFC side, the Eagles are going to still end up winning the East, even though they're the most overrated team in football. It's going to come down to between the Bears and Lions, which is unreal to think about. I still think the Lions will win that division.
So your NFC leaders are Philly, like you said. It's also Detroit, Tampa Bay, and Seattle right now.
I think all of that stays. I think the NFC is a pretty easy one to navigate at that point. Looking at the playoff picture, though, that's going to be a lot harder. I will choose Seattle. And I will choose Detroit.
So I'm with you 50%. Meaning I've got one team in the AFC, one team in the NFC. AFC, give me a little old school matchup with the new school players. Give me Denver, New England. Tell me that wouldn't be a fun matchup to watch.
It would be a fun matchup to a certain extent. Here's why. Denver is an awful watch.
Oh, they're ugly.
They're ugly to watch. Yeah. It would be nice to see Denver back in it again. I just hate watching Denver play. I hate watching them play.
It's there's no such thing as a pretty loss, right? You'll take the ugly win. But hell, when every win is ugly and hard fought, I mean,
I love their defense. Nick Bonito,
Zach Allen.
What's his name? Cooper is the other edge rusher.
Oh, yes.
And of course you got Pat Surtain and Singleton. Like, what's not to love about their defense? Their offense is unwatchable.
Not all. Well, no, isn't
for the first 3 quarters they are unwatchable.
Yes, that is okay. Yeah, all right, fair.
Yeah,
But I mean, it's still. I think New England, Denver would be fun. I'll be realistic. I think it's going to be New England, Indianapolis. Who's going to end up playing there? And it's not. Listen, that is not a shot towards the Bills. I love the Bills. It's just the way that everyone is playing right now. I can't. I can't do it again. I've needed the Bills to beat the Chiefs.
And the Chiefs won't even make it this year.
I know, but I've needed the Bills to beat the Chiefs, and they haven't done it for me.
Yeah. I get you. I get you.
So, and then we go over to the NFC. I'm not with the Eagles.
No, no one should be.
I'm not
No
with
one
the Eagles. Listen,
should be.
I love the Eagles players as players. I can't because they're the Eagles.
I mean, even when they win, I mean, their wide receivers literally saying he doesn't care because he doesn't play well. That's all you need. I'm not a believer in the Packers as hot as we started. I remember episode 1 we're talking about how great they were going to be.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a little tricky. They have all the pieces. It's just they're not all moving in the right at the right time. And
they
not
have
all synced.
The
together.
puzzle's not done.
Exactly.
They're trying to put the puzzle in the frame, and they've got 3 pieces upside down, and one of them's backwards.
Exactly.
All the pieces are there. They just haven't figured it out yet. So I would agree with that. I'm gonna say something here. Give me Detroit, Seattle. It's just a matchup I'd want to see.
Yeah.
Would Detroit win and go to the Super Bowl? Yeah, probably, almost absolutely. In that matchup specifically, yeah, probably. But man, would that be fun? You imagine JSN running all over the Detroit secondary and Goff having to play a little catch up because Sam Darnold started hot.
Yeah, I don't trust. I have the same matchup as you, and I don't trust necessarily Detroit's secondary. Also, one of the things that killed Detroit last year is their secondary was not good, and they were completely unhealthy on the defense. You give me a healthy Aiden Hutchinson. Give me just a well-rounded defense now. The defense is playing better without Aaron Glenn, which is saying something. And again, the offense has not skipped a beat. Jahmyr Gibbs is even better than he has been the last 2 years.
Oh my God, Jahmyr Gibbs. The dude is a stud.
If they can get Sam Laporta back by playoff time, that would be a huge win. If he is, I don't see how Detroit doesn't make it to the Super Bowl. That being said, I also said that last year, and they lost in the first game that they played. So, to Washington. So, I'll have them in there. Again, fade me. I'm the new fade god. Fade me. So, give me Detroit on the AFC side. My heart is telling me the Bills. Every ounce of me is saying, you have to go for the Bills. You have to go for the Bills. So I'm going to choose my heart and go with the Bills.
Pets.
I wouldn't hate that, but I need the Bills.
I hear you.
I need the Bills. I need Detroit. I need...
But Pats Lions. Drake, just listen to me.
Yeah.
Pats Lions. Drake May gets the MVP. Jared Goff finally gets his Super Bowl against the team that he lost to when he was in LA.
Yeah.
Tell me that wouldn't be a poetic story.
It would be a great story. That would be a great game to watch at that point in the season. I mean, a great Super Bowl. You get the Patriots resurgence. You get Detroit exercising almost a century of demons. I would love to see that. But I'd also love to see the Bills win a Super Bowl more. So I would have the Bills beating the Lions, Josh Allen taking that poor city on his back and finally becoming the king in New York.
And let's not forget, folks, while we're talking about all of this, Jerry Jones is still down there in his office being real competitive, and the Cowboys probably won't even finish 500.
Or we could finish 500. We could legitimately finish.
We could legitimately finish exactly 500, which is hard to do with an odd number of games.
But this is ultimately what he wants, and the last few weeks have been nothing but atrocious for the Cowboys. I'm not even going to talk about the off the field stuff. You can go look at that. We're trying to have fun here. But the fact that the Cowboys just gave up a game to Carolina, the fact that they went to Denver and never had a shot.
Oh, not even close.
Not even close to a shot. The fact, yes, they had played the game of their year against the Commanders, really means nothing because the Commanders are somehow worse than us. We let Arizona walk into our own building and completely beat us from rooter to tutor
without Kyler.
Without Kyler. So,
who, mind you, had he played, I'm pretty sure even starting in high school is still undefeated in AT&T Stadium.
Yes, he has never lost a game against us there. So
no, even when he was in high school at Allen.
Yeah. He is actually the landlord that owns the stadium that Jerry has to pay rent for. So
it's insane. I will say, what are we in November? 2 months ago, I did finally take a tour of AT&T Stadium. When you look at it empty, this is going to sound so stupid. When you look at it empty, it looks smaller than what it actually is.
It does, because it doesn't have character. As weird as it is.
I get what you're saying with that.
Like, it doesn't feel like
it's not home.
It's not a home.
It's not what Texas Stadium was. It's not what whenever the Cowboys played in the Cotton Bowl in actual Dallas was.
Yeah,
it's not.
It's an art gallery. It's an homage to corporate America. Like it's what every stadium is trying to be now.
It's a Jerry Jones fluff centerpiece.
It really is. It really is. Like, I don't like the Packers, but the fact that you have Lambeau, like,
oh, I know,
is perfect.
I know.
Even the link is, that feels like a home there. If you want to take it, Gillette, that feels like a home.
Lucas Oil,
that feels like a home. Absolutely.
They changed it. It's not. I'm wanting to call the 49ers Stadium Candlestick Park, and that's not what it is.
Levi's. Levi's sucks.
But it's a home. Okay, all right, fine. I'll change it. Lumen Field, Seattle.
Yes, it has character. It has. You can even say, the Superdome is old as all hell, but man, it's their home.
I will say we still don't have the worst stadium in the NFL. We can rank all of them if we want to in a future episode, but I still think the Dolphins have the worst. Like, Hard Rock Stadium sucks.
Yeah, they've had 25 different name changes. They're not even Miami. I'm definitely not a fan of that stadium. To me, the Meadowlands is the worst stadium in football.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
It's a home of misery.
Does it have anything to do with the fact that it's also in New Jersey?
It doesn't help. But, the turf sucks. Every person that you've ever talked to that has been there says it is a terrible place.
OBJ first and now Malik Neighbors, how do they not get rid of the turf?
Because they're incompetent.
Yeah, that's valid.
And that place is going to host the World Cup final. Where they'll actually have grass.
Oh, I was like, but with real grass.
Yes.
Okay.
But that just shell of, again, corporate America, of just emptiness, of just everything wrong with what sports is becoming, is going to host the World Cup final. Blah.
I wish they'd stop building stadiums with roofs because I'm gonna be real. We need snow games.
We need snow games and we need grass. You're billionaires. Figure it out.
Yeah, seriously, figure it out. Like I'm not gonna like.
Or what?
I'm gonna steal Ryan's freaking tagline. Figure it out. You're billionaires. Put in grass. Put in a freaking drainage system. Quit building the roofs and the domes and all that because the weather is part of the game. Seriously, figure it out.
Oh, what? Because you want to host a Taylor Swift concert? Oh, you want to host more concerts? They host them in Philadelphia. They host them at Gillette. The team that's doing it right is the Bills. They're building a stadium. Does it have grass? No, but it's still open air. It's still outdoors.
All they did was just add a little more awning so that they didn't have
The
to
fans
snow blow the stands.
Yeah, so the fans can be covered. The field should still be open.
Okay. Ryan and I are going to get on a tangent, and it's going to get real angry. And so we're going to stop that now. We're going to switch sports completely. We're going to talk about something that is, well, I'm not happy with who won, but the subsequent stuff that we're going to talk about will be good. So we're going to hard switch to a sport that is not played in snow. I don't think I've ever seen this sport ever played in snow, which is baseball. We're going to talk about the MLB. Congratulations to the Los Angeles Dodgers for the second year in a row for winning the World Series championship. You called it. You just didn't get the number of games right.
Yeah, boy, was I wrong. I thought they were going to do a clean sweep. I thought they shouldn't have even needed to play the series. Boy, was I wrong, and I am really happy for it because that will go down in history as one of the greatest playoff series in any sports of all time.
And can we talk about we're going to talk about the Dodgers. We're going to talk about the Dodgers because obviously phenomenal team, phenomenal player on that team we're fixing to get to. Can I just give a tip of the cap to Toronto?
Yeah.
Man.
I mean, the fan base showed out. The players were just playing their absolute hearts out. And being a Rangers fan and having to deal with the past decade of a good rivalry, having been there to see René Odor punch the lights out of Jose Bautista, I feel so bad for them. I mean, Vladdy Guerrero, I feel so bad for the pitching, which I did not see that coming. Scherzer, Gossman, Savage is unbelievable. Yeah. That man is going to be. I hope he sticks around for a long time. That man was unreal in those games. They also just played great baseball.
They did. That was honestly so my favorite World Series of all time. And probably forever, because who knows if we'll ever win another. Will always be 2023 when we won, because it was our first one. But the style of baseball played in this year's World Series was both modern and just straight up old school.
Yeah.
Straight up old school. Shohei Ohtani playing both ways. Cranking 2-3 home runs and then 10 Ks in the same night? Babe Ruth isn't even doing that.
No. I mean, doing that in the NLCS and then coming into a game where, I mean, they played essentially 8 games because game 3 or game 2
went to 18 innings.
Went into 18 innings, and in that game, Shohei Ohtani was on base 9 times. I'll say that again. He went on base 9 times. And he wasn't even the star of the game because Freddie Freeman is Freddie Freeman and knows how to show up in big situations in the World Series. So I could spend legitimately 2 hours talking about Game 7.
Oh, what a
And
game.
half that would be about the ninth inning.
What a game.
When Game 7, the drama and just the fact that any little thing could decide a championship.
No one wanted
If
to go home.
Isaiah Kiner-Falefa actually got a good second jump, we're talking about Toronto winning their first World Series in almost 30 years, or over 30 years.
Yep.
But he didn't. We're talking about a game where Miguel Rojas, who never really had much of an impact on the series
Until he needed to.
That home run is the stuff of legend, the stuff you dream about. And then the next half inning, saving the game on the play previously mentioned, where he threw home and Isaiah Kiner-Falefa is out. And then the very next at bat, you have Kike Hernandez taking a bad jump and praying to God that he can catch it. And then Pejas, who was put in to the game for that exact situation.
Mm-hmm.
For years, people have given Dave Roberts so much slack and so much crap for not being a good in-game manager when the game mattered most. Putting those players in the game and letting them make the plays, to be a captain, Dave Roberts, unbelievable.
Dave Roberts has 2 World Series rings in 2 years. I think you can officially call the critics silenced.
Yes. And of course, Will Smith showing up. Great job from the catcher, Will Smith, showing up and putting the series to rest. It's unbelievable. And we're not even talking about the MVP of the series, Yoshinobu Yamamoto, who might be even more of a robot than Shohei Ohtani.
The fact that he had that amount of command
on no day's rest.
Like, I could have missed it. I didn't see any pitch get away from him.
No.
I didn't see anything run, nothing.
He does things so unconventionally. You would tell you would literally have to tell little leaguers, don't do what this guy does. Because he's throwing warm-up pitches in the dugout in between mound appearances. He was ready and fully loaded to go in the 18-inning game. He was next up to go out.
Mm-hmm.
It's unbelievable how they're able to get these guys and get the most out of them. Shohei Ohtani could have just gone to the Dodgers and done the whole Albert Pujols thing when he went to the Angels and collected his checks until he's 40 years old and not make that much of an impact. No, he's just gone on and won 2 straight unanimous MVPs. 4 out of the last 5.
4 out of the last 5. All 4 unanimous.
We're watching the greatest to ever play right now. And we're watching probably... yes, it's the LA Dodgers. Do I like the Dodgers? No. But this is... like, soak it in, people. This could have the potential to be the greatest dynasty in baseball history.
We are watching some of the greatest baseball ever played since coming out of COVID.
Yes.
It is absolutely phenomenal. The only critique I have is putting a runner on second in extra innings in the regular season. Quit that shit.
Yeah, quit it. I agree with that.
But I don't go back to the positive. This is the greatest baseball being played. We are watching the greatest baseball player of all time. He will go down as I'm telling you, mark my words. I've said it before and I will continue to say it. He will go down as the greatest baseball player of all time. Shohei Ohtani.
And I think, again, like I said, this is the greatest dynasty probably since, like, you can argue what the 50s and 60s Yankees when they had DiMaggio and Mickey Mantle and Yogi Berra and you can name all those Hall of Famers. We're watching to me, and kind of what I hope for, is that right now. Does it suck that it's the Dodgers? Yeah.
Well, yeah, but it sucked when it was the Yankees in the 50s.
I mean, if I was around, sure, but
you know what I mean.
Yeah. It's the Yankees.
It's the Yankees. It's the Dodgers. It's
the
like
Bronx Bombers.
What are you gonna do?
The elites. I agree, but I'm so happy that I get to watch Shohei Ohtani and Yoshinobu Yamamoto and just years to come of this. And we're not even mentioning, again, Miguel Rojas had the game of his life.
You said Freddie Freeman one time.
I didn't even mention Mookie Betts. This is what I'm talking about.
Like you said, Kike Hernandez one time.
I said Kike Hernandez. I didn't even mention Teoscar Hernandez. He didn't even do anything this series.
No, he didn't.
But he was there.
He was there, ready to hit bombs if needed. He just didn't have to turn it on.
And he didn't really do much the postseason. The one time they needed him the most, he showed up when they went up 2-0 against the Phillies.
Yep.
Again, and I didn't even mention Blake Snell or Tyler Glasnow, or the fact that Clayton Kershaw got to retire with 2 in a row.
Good for Clayton Kershaw.
Good. We're I-35 Live, Highland Park's greatest.
Clayton Kershaw, who his best friend, Matt Stafford, has a chance to, because the Rams look okay. I'm just saying.
And he's not even the greatest athlete to come from that school.
Yeah.
Scotty Scheffler.
Yep.
Jake Felt.
Yep.
You know who Jake Felt is?
Not even a little bit.
Look him up.
Okay. I know who Scotty Scheffler is. Oh, great baseball being played, people. Great baseball. Let's switch over to hockey.
Okay.
Nothing crazy.
It's the beginning of a season.
Nothing crazy. Stars 7-0 win against the Habs.
Yeah, best output that we've seen from a team like that, from our team in a while.
And shut out Casey DeSmith.
Yeah.
Our backup got a shutout between the pipes. That was nice. We had a baseball goal again.
Yeah, first win in Ottawa the game before, and in a very, very, very long time, and it came in a overtime comeback. So can't complain.
Bit of a streak here.
Yeah,
bit of a streak.
Let's not get upset if it ends. Let's take the positives and let's learn from the negatives.
Exactly. Let's know that we can do this
and
continue to do what we know what we can do. We'll say, yeah, just like Ryan said, it's like the beginning of the NHL season. We don't have a ton. Conversely, it's also the beginning of the NBA season, and we do have a ton. The Mavericks fired Nico Harrison after he got rid of Luka. Nah.
Yeah, I mean, who could have seen it coming where you get aging players who are injury prone, where you have to rely on your rookie to play a position he's not really accustomed to.
Or ever played.
And it's like, yeah, defense wins championships. So does offense, and we have the worst offense of them all right now in the NBA. So, yeah, my opinion on Nico Harrison firing, to me, doesn't move the needle because the damage is already done.
Should have happened 6 months ago.
Should have. The only reason he had a job after the season is because we got the number 1 pick.
And I don't know, and to go along with the Nico Harrison firing, I don't know how I feel about Jason Kidd coming out and saying, like, it's a disrespect to the current team because the players are giving it their all. First of all, it's not a disrespect. The fans help teams go make money to do what they want to do. So it is absolutely the fans. NBA fans were buying tickets to Dallas Stars games just to go to the AAC and chant "Fire Nico." So the fact that Jason Kidd has come out and been like, "Oh, well, we need to back this team and we need to move on from this," it's like, no. We went from Dirk to Luka. We went from our guy to our guy. We're allowed to be hurt.
And does he know that we're not going, or not we, they are going against, they aren't going against the players. They're going against the guy who ruined the franchise and caused irreparable damage for the next decade.
I don't think he does. And I don't understand. Like, if I could have 15, 20 minutes down with Jason Kidd, just to look and be like, okay, the year that we won the finals, you were on that team, Coach Kidd. Now imagine after Dirk taking us to the finals, playing through sickness and winning us that championship, the next season, management decides, you know what, that's not enough. And they trade Dirk. How would you feel as a player?
It's not too far from what they did, in all honesty. We got to remember that team was quickly dismantled.
But they didn't get rid of who?
Dirk. Now, no, I agree. It would be like us losing in 06 to the Heat and the next halfway through the year getting rid of Dirk for, Vince Carter.
Mario Chalmers.
I don't think Mario Chalmers was around even then.
Really?
Allen Iverson.
There you go.
Going and getting Allen Iverson or Rip Hamilton.
Trying to tuck MJ out of retirement.
Yeah, that's essentially what would happen. But yeah, NBA season, they're still doing the NBA Cup crap. I will say, yes, I've seen the ratings are up, and I'm actually kind of thrilled to see a healthy Victor Wembanyama.
Yeah. Wemby looks good. Wemby looks healthy.
The Lakers look fun.
The Lakers look fun. God, dude, am
With
I a
no
Mavericks
LeBron.
fan still? Yes. Am I still always going to be a Luka fan? You bet your ass I'm going to be. I want him to win a championship like every year. I don't care what team he's on.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah. I feel the same way about Detroit because Cade Cunningham is kicking butt and they're the best team in the East right now.
Does it give you any solace at all, the fact that now that Nico Harrison is gone, Mark Cuban is being kind of folded back in to basketball operations for the Mavericks?
No.
Not at all.
No, because he's the one who sold to the Dumonts in the first place.
Fair.
Also, I think he takes a lot of credit for a lot of moves that Donnie Nelson made. Well, yeah, I will never fully trash Cuban for what he did for the franchise and taking it from, the literal doldrums to making it the premier franchise when it came to front office and administrative stuff and how the teams could be run. I can't fault him for that. However, post-championship has been nothing short of a disaster. And full stop. The fact that we were able to get Luka and have those years with him was great. He still had the sign-off on getting rid of Jalen Brunson. Let's not forget, before getting Luka, we could never get a premier free agent to show up here. When Darren Williams was a premier free agent, never came here.
Kristaps.
We got Kristaps and then let him go. We could never get Dwight Howard to come here. There were chances where we could have got Carmelo Anthony. There was the year where we had all but gotten DeAndre. Oh my gosh, his name is escaping me now.
DeAndre Jordan.
And the Clippers basically held him hostage, and he didn't come here. Still, we could have tried harder, and he didn't. Like there are plenty of times where we could have got premier free agents, and they didn't want to come here.
Can I show you how ingrained football is in my brain? Where you just said DeAndre, and then looked at me. I went Hopkins immediately.
Hopkins. I was like, I'm gonna say something dumb and just say
immediately.
Hopkins.
I was like DeAndre Hopkins, rock sport.
Yep, but like all of this is all of that is real. I mean, we could spend, like I said, hours talking about the missteps that have occurred as it pertains to the Mavericks. But again, Nico doesn't move the needle for me.
That's fair. How do you feel about the beef between the Stars and the Mavs, and one suing the other, and then the other one countersuing because they're all trying to leave the AAC?
Yeah, I guess, at that point, the Mavericks were running things and letting the Stars stay there, but now the Stars think that they're the boss when they're not. And so I think, I think they'll still be able to work it out because I think the city of Dallas will find a way to get things together. Again, going back to Cuban, I think he probably kept things civil with the other side. Whereas now, when you get more purely business-minded people who don't have the passion for the game on the basketball side, and they see a situation that's not going their way, they're going to try to fight it in the way that they can. And so, yeah, it's a shame to see the two of them not work well together. But I think it'll all wash over.
All right. I want to try something new. I'm going to start ending these with a little bit of nonsense.
Okay.
If you had to pick an NFL player to go against a punt pass kick drill, who do you think you could beat? And don't give me some crap about a lineman or something.
Oh, I was going to say like Vita Vea. Punt pass kick.
Punt pass kick.
Oh, like Deuce Vaughn.
That's mean. That's mean. How far do you think you can punt the ball?
Not far. I'm not good with my feet.
How far do you think you can throw the ball?
I could probably get 50.
Standing or running into it?
Running into it.
How far? 5-step, 7-step drop.
5-step.
5-step drop, starting on the goal line, 5-step drop.
I would completely tear my shoulder apart.
Sure, but you think you could hit the star or the 50-yard line?
Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe. I mean, the kicking part's going to be the worst part. Like I'm banking on that because I don't think I could kick a field goal. From a yard away?
You think you can make? You don't think you could?
No.
I'm gonna be real. I couldn't either. I don't know that I can get enough lift under the ball.
No. When I'd play goalie in soccer, I'd have to have the center defenseman take my goal kicks from.
Oh, your kick out from the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't kick at all. So, I mean, realistically, every one of them would beat me as long as they could actually, get the ball off the ground on a field goal. But okay, if I'm not being mean to Deuce Vaughn, which I don't know why I would be mean to Deuce Vaughn. It would be really funny to watch him do it, but like Jameis Winston.
Except he could outpass you by
1,000%. At that point, then I'm actually banking on the kicking. No, you'd have to shoot.
It'd have to be a running back.
Yeah.
And let me go one step further. It would have to be a running back that was not previously a quarterback and then converted.
Do you think maybe
they don't? Okay, what if? Let's see if this helps. It doesn't have to be a current player.
Oh, dumb question. Alive?
Nah.
Oh, damn. OJ?
You think?
I mean, there's no running involved.
I mean, valid.
There's no. I mean, he's not famous for his kicking.
So I was going to pick Ronnie Hillman, who was the backup to Monte Ball for the Denver Broncos back in like 2013.
R.I.P. Yeah. I don't know. You got to give me some real unathletic guy. Yeah, that's a tough one. I'll stick with Deuce.
Hang on. I got you when you're ready. Los Angeles Rams, C.J. Anderson.
Man. Yeah. I'll take any current OSU Cowboys quarterback. 1-9. Can't complain. I did it to myself.
Oh.
Yeah, don't start laughing now. Your team's down 35-10 right now.
I never thought my team was going to win this game. I never
thought my team would go 1-10, but here we are.
They put a statue of Gundy out front?
Not yet. Give them time.
No, I'm saying, like, do you think they will?
No, 1,000%. 1,000%.
Okay. Good. All right. Well, Ryan, let's get out of here. Folks, we're going to get out of here. As always, appreciate you all for listening. Another episode of I35 Live. If you enjoy the content and you want to see more of it, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. If you'd like, please leave us a comment down below. But other than that, we're gone. For Ryan, I'm Matt. We'll see you guys later. Peace.
Hell, Jeff.